All right, good evening, everyone. Um, this session, we're gonna go through how to fix your own credit, or do you want us to fix your credit? So you can do it yourself, or you can ask us to do it for you. Of course, you got to pay a little bit more on the monthly fees. All right. So let's get started. Again, my name is Andrew Ong. I'm one of the executive of the now we call it the Black Swan Elite Financial Consulting Advisor Group. Um, we bring you many ways or services that will help the clients regarding about relate to financial services. Okay, so tonight, um, every Wednesday, we're gonna have maybe the next this month session um, that we're gonna go through how to fix your credit or help clients to fix their credits, and you can earn um, residual income and bonuses of doing this. So first off, you will receive a landing page with your code um, that you can um, set up the account for the clients. And before the setup, very important that they need to set up what we call a one-time setup processing fees. Okay, it's 249.99 one time. Uh, then they can enroll in on the monthly uh, fees plan. If they plan to do it themselves, it's only $29.99 a month, and they can cancel anytime they want, or when they achieve or when they get the desired FICO score that they want to, maybe to obtain a loan or something, then they can, uh, cancel their membership. Okay. But most people um, are keeping it forever because not just fixing their credit, but tracking, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. A whole package. It's incredible. Build your credit and on and on. So it's not just fixing your credit, but this is the uh, landing page or the front store that you can help the client, or the client can go and set up after they pay a one-time setup fee, 249.99. Okay, so let's check this out. How do I know um there's two different link, okay? So this link right here, if you check under everyone, later on I will talk about the opportunity. Now it's just for the client training. So when you come in, um, we can help them to set it up, by the way. Okay. So we click on sign up, and then we follow the prompt to create the account and then verify the identity and then finish up, to get the user and the log in. So, okay. And when I click on the pricing, you can see this is if we do it for them, uh, the monthly fee used to be supposed to be $89.99, but New Year um, promotion, we only the fee is only $49.99 a month. This is what we do for if the client want us to help them to fix their credit. But if they want to do it themselves, we send them this. Oh, what is this? I guess I got it wrong. We can send them this link. You see right here is it says $49.99, and then this link is right here. Actually, right here is the link. And then every credit repair consultant with the company have their own link. So that way you get credit for it. So it's $29.99 and it's include all these things. For the $29.99, only one report uh, a month, and smart credit report score unlimited, feature score, best pay down dates, score tracking, score builder, score boost, credit monitoring, and action. Important because this is where you fix your credit under action. And I will go over this for you guys. Okay. And then loan tool. This also um, help you to get loans. Okay. According to whatever your credit is. So, and then under protection tools, there's a money manager, also including 1 million fraud insurance and private C master. So it's kind of like a very complete package, not just, fixing your credit. Okay. So let's dive right in on how you gonna, you know, build your credit. So let's start with the training. Okay. So if you are a
this video, we're going to review
with elite consultant credit repair team, you will get access to the training. So let's start with the smart credit full overview.
Welcome to the Smart Credit Product Training video. I'm Rochelle Alexander. I am the Vice President of Customer Service, and I'm going to be walking you through this training today. So the very first thing that we're going to review is the public page. When that you have a link to provide to your members, you're going to provide that to them, and when they land on it, they're going to see Smart Credit and they're going to see Partnered With, and your logo will be here. If you do not have a logo with us, it will have the logos for TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax saying that we're partnered with them. When that they go to sign up, they're going to click the sign up button and it will take them to the next page. This is the beginning of the sign up process, and there will be a whole video that will go into detail about how that the sign up works. A few things I do want to point out on here. If you do have a sponsored membership for your members, you will want to make sure to put the sponsor code here at the beginning of the sign up process. So step 1, registering. And also point out that the logo will continue to be seen, and any marketing message or risk-free offer details that you have will be listed here for the member to view. All right, once that the member signs up and they get to what we call the member homepage, this is what that they're going to see, the main section of the member homepage that goes over their credit score, which is the Smart Credit Score, the MyLona offers, which are credit card and loan offers, the Smart Credit Report, the 3B Report and Score, and Privacy Master. So Score Tracker is now easier for customers to follow their credit history with in-depth data. So that's going to keep track of their score from when that they started and every time that that Smart Credit Report is updated. Score Builder will help members that have negative items or inaccuracies use our action buttons to resolve the issues. Score Boost allows members to see what spending and paying on their existing revolving lines of credit will do for their score. MyLona helps members apply confidently for offers to shop competitive offers for credit cards and personal loans based on the current score and also to see where that they would be with their future score. The Smart Credit Report is an interactive TransUnion credit report, and it is the Vantage 3.0 score. The 3B report and score is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian together. Again, this is the Vantage 3.0 score. And then finally, we have Privacy Master that scans and monitors websites and data brokers who are selling the members' private information. So let's go ahead and start getting into each one of these individually. Before that we do this, first I want to focus on the Smart Credit Report. So this sends the information for Score Tracker, Score Builder, Score Boost, and the MyLona offers. Again, this is the TransUnion Credit Report. It is interactive, so the member can click on these buttons right here to go side to side to go through the credit report. They can even click up here and narrow down what that they want to review. So this is the easy view, and I'm going to now show you the advanced view. Here's the advanced view, and you're going to notice that what we see is the overview scores and the individual creditors are listed, so they can jump around and click on them as if they like. Now, they can also do a search for their creditor up here in the search area, and they can print this to either paper or PDF. They just click on the print button and it will go ahead and offer them to print the information. Okay, now let's get into some details on this overview to see exactly what we're looking at. So first right here, we're going to look at the amount of available credit that the member has on the Smart Credit Report. So again, this is TransUnion only. If they have spent 50% of their overall credit, it will list it there. If they have spent 45%, it will say that 65% of their credit is available. And pretty much anything under 30% is better. 15% and under is best. We'll list how many negative items that the member has, how many inquiries total they have, how many collections are listed on that TransUnion report, and if there are public records. So public records would be anything that goes through the court system. Okay, then we take their total revolving debt, the real estate debt, the installment debt, and any lines of credit, and list the total debt. Now, from each one of those individual creditors, there is listed the minimum monthly payment for the current statement that they're viewing their credit report for. And this is where we get the minimum monthly payment from. We add it all up together so the member can quickly see what that their minimum payment is. We give them the total number of creditor items on the credit report, how many are in good standing, how many are open, and how many are closed. And then we follow that up over here with the total creditors, and we break it down into 4 categories. We have auto, mortgage, credit cards, and other. So other would be like personal loans that would be listed here. And then we do also list the credit score and give them the grade. Now, I'm not going to have screenshots of the next 2 items, but there is a personal information tab and a consumer statement tab. The personal information, oops, I'm sorry about that. The personal information tab, I went too far. The personal information tab is where that their information is. So this is the personal information that is viewed for the creditors, the address, the name, place of employment, date of birth. So all of that information is also listed here. On the consumer statement side of things, what that you're going to see is anytime that the member has mailed in a statement to the credit bureaus, that's going to be listed there. Also, if there's any type of fraud alert or information, you will also see that in the consumer statement. Next is going to be the credit score, and you can see that this is next on the block in the advanced view. So we give them what that their credit score is, we give them the grade for it, and then we tell them where that they are. We have the different categories of excellent, very good, average, poor, bad, or not rated. And again, you can see with not rated, it does give the definition. Either you have very little credit history or very serious credit problems. That can happen when that there's pretty much no creditors that are open and there's only derogatory credit. So you have a lot of collections, you have public records. None of those can really help towards a score. So when you get so much of that information, it's not going to be rated. We do have this little notification that we're using the Vantage 3.0 score. And then again, there are two other tabs, and it's auto and insurance score. The auto score is kind of an industry standard. They have their own scoring system. So it goes over what the score is for that. And then the insurance goes over what would happen or what the score would be if the member were to apply for insurance, what the score would look like to them, because it does look at different things overall. Okay, so now we're going to go into a creditor, and this is our creditor summary page. You can see right here, we're on the creditor. It tells us part of the account number. It is normally jumbled up, so you can't glean any information from it. A lot of times it will have the correct first 4 to 6 digits, but not always. It will tell the account status, the payment status, the balance owed, the payment amount, and if there is a credit limit. Right here, you're going to see the recent payment history. It's going to do the last 12 months from when it was last reported. If you click on the View Complete History, you will see up to 7 years as reported by TransUnion. And we'll look at that here in just a minute. Then you have the instant action, and we'll go over the actions in a little bit. But the actions go directly to the creditors. If there's any action history, it will be listed. And then we have the contact information for that particular creditor. Next, if we do click on that View Complete History, this is the type of box that's going to pop up. So you're going to see everything that is listed as in green is on time. Anything in this peachy color is going to be 30 days late. Anything that would be listed in this mustard yellow color is going to be 60 days late. And anything 90 days or more is going to be in red. No activity or no rating for the month is going to show in light gray and then gray. All right, next we're on the detail tab. Now what this does is it opens up a little bit more for you to see the detail on the particular creditor. So number one, if there's creditor remarks, they will be listed here. The most common one that you're going to see is account closed. Now you could also see creditor remarks such as going through debt consolidation or something where that they have marked the credit file for other creditors to see. Then on the details, you're going to see the account type. So it's a line of credit. The payment date. This is the last payment date as reported. And account verified. Now, when the account is verified, that is when that they show when that the last payment is made. And the account verified is normally a few days after the statement period ends. So for this example right here, let's say that the payment was made on January 14th. The payment was actually due on January 20th, so it was made a few days ahead of time. The statement period ends on January 22nd, and then the creditor verifies the account to the credit bureau on this account verified date. This can be important because if a member is making a payment on one of their creditors and they're expecting it to be updated, and it's not, one of the reasons may simply be that it has not been verified to the credit bureau yet. So if you come here and scroll and go to the details information, you will be able to see when the account was last verified. Usually it's right about 1 month away from there when the next verification will happen. Weekends and holidays can change the exact date that it is verified. Continuing on, we have the date opened, what the highest balance was, the term length for that particular creditor, the frequency, so normally monthly, and account rating, paid or paying as agreed. And if you're in the account and you have your mouse over the top of it, it's going to open up kind of a box so you can see the whole account rating. And the same is going to be true with the account description. All right, next we're moving on to the transactions tab. This is purely if a member has linked their account in the Money Manager system, and you can see this right here. Data only appears if the account has been added into Money Manager. We will go over that in detail about how that accounts are added in there. But once that they are, the line by line item, just like inside of the account online, will show up inside of the system. And that is represented right here with the little link. Now, this doesn't mean that all of this detail is available through the credit bureau. It just means once that the account is linked, we can now say these transactions belong to this creditor. Okay, so now we're done with the Smart Credit Report and we're going to go into first Score Tracker. Score Tracker, it tracks the information from that Smart Credit Report. It does not track it from the 3B report and score. So you're going to see here credit score, auto score, insurance score, and hiring risk index. Down below, you're going to see the tracking that happened for each date that the Smart Credit Report was pulled. And this is from a test account, so the information doesn't vary much. But the longer that they go, the more you're going to see it ebb and flow up and down and the dates listed. And then below that, you're going to see starting with the latest update to that Smart Credit Report and score, you're going to see the credit score, the auto score, and the insurance score. So the member can always go back and see exactly where that they were at any given time when that they update that Smart Credit Report. Keep in mind, it is only when the Smart Credit Report is updated, so they can't just go back and expect to see a full amount of history. So if they just signed up, there's only going to be one dot. It's not going to be retroactive and go back because we have no history to provide to them. Next, we're going to look a little bit more at the credit score detail. And again, this is from the Smart Credit Report. This is TransUnion, and it will list the date that the score is from. This has the same excellent, very good, average, poor, bad, or not rated with the definition next to it. Then it shows where that they are according to the rest of those in the US. And then it gives the score factors. So the score factors are going to show you positive score factors and negative score factors. And a few of the positive factors are going to be few or no delinquent or derogatory payments. Now, delinquent is late when you have a credit card, and derogatory is public records and collections because there's no history of a delinquent payment, even though it stems from one. So that is the difference between delinquent and derogatory. Available credit is not too low, meaning they are actually using their credit, even if it's not a lot. And the revolving accounts are not too high. So that was an example when we saw the utilization. If they have a lot of accounts, that are utilized, especially 50% or higher, it's really going to have a negative impact on their credit score. So this particular one doesn't have too many that are too high. Negative examples, those delinquent or derogatory payments, any of those are going to have a negative impact on the overall credit score. The date of the oldest account open is too recent. So somebody that is just establishing their credit, they're actually going to have that work against them in the very beginning. And as they continue to build their credit, their score is going to increase. Normally, it's about 1 year that they look at it for the new credit. And so once they get beyond that 1 year, their score will start to go up. Balance on installment payments is too high. So the installment is the same as the revolving. Again, if they have really high, it's going to impact them greatly. I've seen it impact as much as 100 points, and you get that below 30% utilization, 15% utilization, and the score goes right up. Okay, next we're moving on to Score Builder. So Score Builder is a way for members to be able to look at those delinquent and derogatory accounts and try to use our action system to recover from that. So they can report inaccuracies, they can ask for goodwill request, they can do everything inside of here that they can from the actions on the Smart Credit Report. So this just gives a little brief overview. There's a little video series as you go through each of it. It gives a little breakdown of what's happening with the credit score and how that the credit score is used. Once that they get started, they can take action. Here's an example of an account that you can take action on. This is a 120-day plan to boost the member's credit. So it goes through and it works the 120-day plan for the member. And it breaks it down a little bit more than you may see on the actions. And again, we do have the little video series to walk you through it. So this first one that we're looking at, this one is either fix an error. So that would be a credit report inaccuracy. A request for a goodwill correction. So that would be something where that they're saying, yes, I know I was late, but I have been doing better lately. Please, as a goodwill to me, remove this negative item. Now we have about a 30% success rate with it, so it doesn't hurt to ask. The member can offer to pay off the debt and negotiate the amount, and they can also report as identity theft. Now we're going into Score Boost. Score Boost really helps members understand how spending and paying down their existing revolving lines of credit really affect their score. And again, that goes towards the utilization. It helps them understand the timing, how that the payment should be applied against different creditors to give you the biggest, I would say, bang for your buck. And when to look for the monitoring to see if there's any changes on the report and allow them to track their score and detect any type of fraud early. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. So Score Boost, and I have this broken down a little bit. This is on top of this section right here in the account, and there will be a specific Score Boost video for you to go through and learn from. So here we have the Score Boost. This one, it doesn't have a lot of wiggle room to boost up the score a whole lot, but some people, there will be hundreds of points or 100 points available to them, and they can move it along and see the type of payments that they need to make. So this would bring it up 5 points and would need to pay approximately $22,000. Now, this isn't an example of what most people will see. This is just an example. Now, what that it does is it goes through and it tells which account to pay first. So you can sort by the fastest achievable points. And you can see this one right here. The dates are a little bit different. And that's really where the fastest achievable points comes from. You can also sort it based on the highest amount of points. So you look at this, the payment amount that we recommend the target statement balance, and the target statement balance is what you really want to look at. Remember, the credit report only receives the information one time per month. It is what the ending statement is, and then this target statement balance is what you would get the target statement balance to in order to achieve the points that you want to receive. So, for example, kind of going back into that other one where that the payment was made on the 14th, it was due on the 20th, and then the statement was on the 22nd. And then it was verified over to the credit bureau on the 3rd. How we get the pay down by date is working backwards in through that. We know most only take a few days to verify from when the statement period ends. So we back that up about 3 days. The most important is having it paid off by the statement date. This doesn't supersede that there is a payment due on the account and it needs to be made by the payment date, but it does let you know this is when we estimate that the statement is going to end. Now, on this account, we're recommending that the member pay down $7,200 to get to a balance of 0. But what if they already paid $5,000 on the account? Sorry about that. $5,000 on the account, they no longer have to pay $7,200. They have to pay $2,200 and $2,220 to get it down to 0. On the other side, if they've gone ahead and they've spent $3,000 or around $3,000 and they now have a balance of $10,000, they would have to pay that amount down there. And again, these are very large numbers. Most people aren't going to be working with them. You're going to see things more like 1,000 or hundreds, $500, these different things in order to boost the score. This is just one that I had as an example to show you. Now, we also will show, if you go the opposite way and move into the spending, what credit card we recommend that you use for that utilization ratio on that particular card, how it will affect your score, and if you don't want it to affect your score, when you should pay that amount back so your score doesn't go down. Now, this can be something that is of interest to people who like to use their credit cards for miles or for rewards or for cash back. And they want to make sure and pay off that credit card before the statement period ends, but they also want to reap the benefits of the rewards for that particular creditor. All right, now Score Boost goes hand in hand with MyLona. So MyLona helps members see better credit offers. They can see based on their current score, and they can do based on their future score. So it helps them understand what might be available to them. And we do show offers, personal loans, credit cards, auto loans, refinance, home loans, business credit cards, etc. So when the member is in their account, and you can see that we have this little Score Boost right here, they can quickly say, okay, this is where my score is. It's 750. I can boost it up this many points. They can type in the amount of what their estimated credit score will be and the desired loan amount. And all of the offers will show below. So it does start with those personal loans and works all the way across to all of these different types of creditors that they can have. And this can really help a person understand the different interest rates that are available based on their credit score. All right, now we're going to go back a little bit into the Smart Credit Report, and we're going to talk about actions. Now we have two types of actions. We have instant actions and our take action button. And really the difference between these is a setting. Normally the instant actions are available on the premium or build membership, and the take action is available on the protect or the basic plan. And the main difference between the two is the instant action is pretty much instantaneous. We get that action out through our form of communication directly to the creditor within 5 minutes. The take action They have until midnight Pacific time before that action will go out. So if they do need to cancel it, they'll have more opportunity to do it.
Okay, this is important, you guys.
Click
Pay
on
attention to this.
instant action. They're going to see something like this, and it's going to give them 4 different options. You have the credit report questions, the account questions, debt negotiator, and then our free form. And people really like to use our free form because it customizes the action response over to the creditor. They have up to 255 characters. They can just click send, and we will build that action letter for them. Now, for the different types of categories that are templated, we have the credit report questions, which could be credit report inaccuracy, a goodwill removal of a negative item, or reporting identity theft. Each one of these has several different templated responses to choose from and decide which is the best type of action to be sending. Then we have account questions. So these can be inquiring about a transaction, and we'll go over that a little bit more. That can be from Money Manager. There are actions available inside of the Money Manager system. You can request to close an account, although I'm not sure I would recommend that. Even if the balance is paid off, having that available credit to you helps your utilization rate. So I wouldn't necessarily close an account, but it can be done through the system. You can request to replace a credit card and increase the spending limit. So those are examples of account questions. Next, we have debt negotiator questions. A member can offer to settle a debt, get a better interest rate, or defer monthly payments. Now, when they're going in and they're offering to settle a debt, normally they're going to choose an amount and the payoff time. So let's say that they owe $500. They want to negotiate it down to $350, and they want to do that over the course of 2 months. So they would put in that information, and that would be sent over to the creditor. With the defer monthly payment, there will be reasons that they can choose to defer the monthly payment, such as, I'm unemployed, I'm going through a hardship. They'll list what that is, the amount of time that they feel that they'll need to defer the payment, and send that directly on. Now, a word of caution about the defer monthly payment: it doesn't stop the interest from accumulating with that creditor. So they need to go into that understanding that if they do defer the monthly payment, which can be great for some people, that they are going to be accumulating a little bit more debt, while that interest rate does take effect on a monthly basis. Now, once that the credit reporting inaccuracies are done, or the debt is negotiated and paid off, once that the creditor makes the update to their system, all of the bureaus will be updated. So there is no need to contact all 3 bureaus to resolve one issue. Money Manager. Now, Money Manager allows members to link their online bank accounts, credit cards, loans, utilities, and investment accounts into Smart Credit. One of the benefits of this is that the member does not have to log into multiple accounts to see what the daily transactions or overall balance is for a particular creditor. It will allow them to see all of those individual transactions, kind of a monthly statement overall, and they will get payment due date notifications all on a daily basis. The details of the linked account do show in the Money Manager located on the member homepage. So that is actually below where that we saw that Smart Credit Report, 3B Report, and Privacy Master. Directly underneath is Money Manager. And then those individual transactions are also linked to the creditor on the Smart Credit Report. And we did see that with a little link when we were on the Smart Credit Report. Now, this is the setup for the Money Manager system. Add 17 accounts. We do our best to match the accounts based on the creditor type. And then the member would just click on link account. A page will pop up and it will show them, ask them, prompt them to put in the username and password for that creditor online. So they have to be established online with that creditor. Once that they do that, there's normally a secondary verification. As you all know, a lot of creditors have gone to text or email notification for logging into the accounts, linking, or doing specific things. This is a security measure. And almost all of the creditors that are linked into the money manager system are going to follow the same pattern. So they'll click on it, the verification will go up. Sometimes it will take them to the page of the creditor where the verification is done, and then it will route them back into the money manager system. If the creditor is not found here, or we have kind of a little blank one, or it doesn't look to be correct, the member can click on search to add account. And all they'll do is just start typing in the name of the creditor, and we'll provide them the results. We don't work with 100% of the creditors in the US, but we do work with, I would say, over 90%. A lot of the ones that I don't see are the smaller credit unions that use more of a generic website for the online banking and don't really have their own established type of system. So those are the ones that are going to be a little bit more difficult to find. Okay, just as an important security note, Smart Credit does not save or store any of the money manager usernames or passwords. When that the information is input, a token is received from the creditor. This is only as good as long as that the username and password does not change. And once that the account is closed, after a set amount of time, the link is severed, and if they come back, they would have to reset up those accounts. Okay, this is the cash versus credit, and it just shows the amount of available cash based on the accounts that are loaded into the Money Manager system. If the account is not in Money Manager, we do not know about it. And then the credit card balance. This is the balance for the accounts in Money Manager. Now, this changes on a daily basis. This isn't going to be the same as what is on the credit report. As new transactions come in and the balance goes up, the balance goes down, we show the different changes overall in the credit. And inside a Money Manager, a person can link, say, their husband's account. So my husband has a couple Home Depot cards and a couple Lowe's cards. I'm not an authorized user on them, not a joint account holder. So those accounts are not on my credit file. I have them linked inside of the Money Manager system so I can watch and see what's happening with that and make sure that I don't miss any payments to that particular creditor. And then finally on here with Money Manager, we have the payment due inbox. So this is going to be a history of the payment that's due, the amount, and the due date. So this can be very important for people who are working to recover their credit. And this helps them not miss any future payments. So I would definitely recommend that people use Money Manager as much as that they can and check this payment due date box to make sure that they're not missing any payments and not continuing to get more negative items on their credit file. And finally, I'm sorry, there is the spending and trends. So you can look here and see where that most of the money is going to. So this one right here, it looks like it's associated with shopping. So this person is doing a lot of shopping, and then you have credit card payments over here. So they might want to look at the different type of spending that they have with the creditors that are in the Money Manager system to help them understand where to reduce spending. And when that they reduce the spending, it helps them be able to take that money and put towards the score boost suggestions, which will really help their score go up. All right, next we're moving on to alerts. The alert settings, that's where we are, is in the alert settings, allows the member to easily manage how that their alerts are managed. I'm sorry. It allows them to easily see how that their alerts are managed. So they can go in here and see my credit and identity is going to come through to me for new accounts, new inquiries, and credit monitoring. The membership alerts are going to come through to me for monthly status and account changes. So account changes are account going to suspended, account going to back to active, account going into closed pending, an account going into a closed status. Those are all account changes. And then here for the money manager, which we just discussed, there is a transaction amount exceeding. So anytime money going in or out that's over the set amount here in the alerts setting box, they're going to receive a notification of it. It defaults to $100. I personally set mine to $200 because I go to the grocery store, and we all know going to the grocery store is probably more than 200 now. I don't like to receive as many alerts for the smaller amounts coming through. I go into the money manager system and I review them individually, but I don't necessarily want to receive the alert. So that can be changed. And then again, all of the alerts can be found in the alert inbox. So if a person is not getting them for some reason into their email, say that they accidentally marked us as spam or they've deleted the email, they can always go into the alert inbox and review the alerts that we have sent them. This is just an example of all of the type of alerts, but you can narrow it down to credit monitoring alerts, money manager alerts, and those membership alerts. And we'll make sure and get those sent over to the member. But again, the history is in here. Now we're going to move on to the whole family fraud insurance. All members will receive a $1 million identity fraud insurance for reimbursement of expenses. Now, why that this is available to every member, they do have to activate it in order to receive the benefit. Also, our feature Privacy Master, it requires that the member activate the identity theft insurance before the system will scan for the data brokers and have them use it. We'll get into that a little bit later. So the fraud insurance has zero deductible. It covers the entire family residing under the household. Covers bank accounts, savings, brokerage, lines of credit, credit card, and more. Covers cash out-of-pocket expenses to recover from identity theft. So even a membership such as Smart Credit, that would be the out-of-pocket expense. It covers the credit report, so that would be us. Covers pre-existing identity fraud that you didn't know about. Now with that, they do have definitions about what that it is. It has to be within a set amount of time. They cannot have known about it before. And then they would have it reported over to the identity theft line. It can cover the cost of replacing a stolen driver's license or a passport. Once the insurance is activated and they go into it, they're going to see it's activated. You can view the policy and you can call this number to file a claim. Now, the number does come directly to my team. We review the account information, make sure that the identity theft insurance is turned on, and then we transfer it over to the insurance company. We give them a review of essentially when that it happened, the type of issue that happened. We inform the insurance company of the name that the claim is being made through and the amount of coverage that they have. And then from there, it's covered with the insurance company. Privacy Master. So this is what it looks like when you have to activate it. And it says right here, please activate the fraud insurance to have access to this feature. So they just click on activate insurance, and then they will have the information available to them. This is what it looks like. The individual's name will be up here and where that the data is found. The information on Privacy Master is known data brokers that sell the members' private information. This can be received from so many different ways. It can be received by clicking on an email, the information is transferred over. It can be from doing a quiz on online social media. And I know so many people enjoy doing the quizzes But that is actually giving your information over to the data brokers. So if you remove all your information and continue to do these quizzes, the information, the private information is going to appear again because you're giving it to them again. If you do any type of raffle or anything like that, it can be there. And if on social media your information is not private, it can be gleaned from there. If somebody else, one of your friends, does a quiz, your information, sometimes it says share my friend's information, and they'll have access to that. And if all of the private information for the individual is there, it can be gleaned from that as well. Okay. So once the request is made, there may be an email confirmation sent to the data broker to confirm the request to remove the data from their system. So you can have that come from, the background check run. There'll be an email that says we received a request to remove your data. They may need to confirm that in order for it to be completely removed. Now, they have the remove or the keep, and then if they need more information, because sometimes the name is close, but not exactly them. We do the best that we can to match it with the information that we have, but sometimes the names are so similar and the areas are so similar that they accidentally get matched to somebody else. So if you click on this downward arrow, you're going to see all of the information. It'll have the name, the age, previous addresses that they were listed at. I'm sorry. And then you can click View Original Information Found. And when you do that, it's going to pop up a page and you're going to see all of the data for the matches that are found with that information. If it is not the individual, they can click on Not My Data and it will go away. And then once that they go through, removed, keep, all of the different ones will be listed. If there's any pending, they'll be listed as pending. And it does scan every 7 days. Now we're on to the 3B report and score, and this is going to be where that we end once we go through everything. So when the member goes into the 3B report and score, if there's a cost associated with it, you will see the pricing. So some members will have a 1 free included with their membership on the premium or the build plan, but on the basic and the essential or the protect and the VIP, they may have to pay for their 3B report and score. And this pricing is going to vary. This is only an example. Once that they click that, they'll get to this page where it will confirm this is the credit card that they want to use, and that will be the credit card that's on file. They have to click to agree to the purchase, and it is listed as non-refundable. And then they place the order. And you can see right here, you have 0 available free. If they do have 1 free, it will say 1 available free. And there will not be any pricing listed. There will not be any credit card or expiration. It'll basically be just, I understand that I'm ordering it. I'm consuming my 1 free 3B report and score, and then they'll place the order. Every order that's placed, the member receives an email confirmation of that, even if it is for free. Now, this is the 3B report, and it defaults to the Smart View. The Smart View kind of puts everything together in a collapsible manner so it can be expanded and reviewed. So you can see right here we have the score from the TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Again, I want to point out that this can be printed. It can be printed to paper or to PDF. Then we go down to personal information. We have name. It says none match, but there could just be different spellings of how that the name is. And this is a junk test one, so we have the Luke Skywalker on here. We have the date of birth listed. When the check mark is there, it means everything matches. The address, none match. It could be variable. It could be that the apartment is listed as different. It could be that it says street instead of ST. It doesn't necessarily mean that the address is not the same. You just have to click on it and view each one. And then employers will be listed. If it says none matching, again, it can be the spelling on that particular one. But the employer section comes from whenever a member is applying for credit, they have to put their employer information. It's not updated by the employers, so they will update that right there. Next, we have the summary. And this is just going to go over the number of accounts that there are, open accounts, closed accounts, any delinquent accounts, which again are late, derogatory accounts, the total balance, the total payments, and the total inquiries. Now, this has none match for total accounts, and that's probably going to be what a lot of people see, or only two matching, because not every creditor reports to all three credit bureaus. And so that would be the same with the open accounts. They may have a different amount of open accounts with Equifax than they do with TransUnion. Closed accounts match here. And then balances, if you don't have the same amount of total accounts, your balances most likely are not going to be the same, and neither will be the amount of the minimum monthly payments. And then the inquiries, a lot of times the creditors do inquiries to just one credit bureau, so a lot of times you're not going to have this match at all. Here's a view of a creditor in the Smart View. So this one has all three match. Their balance, their limit, the last payment. Do find with Equifax that they don't always have the exact date, that they just send over the month and the year. And then negative, this has a 30-day late on it. You can click view the details to have more information. That does open up kind of a classic view. It looks very similar to the classic view, but you can close it down and continue on the rest of the Smart View for the 3B report. Now we're over to the classic view, where that most people recognize. You have the columns side by side with all of the information. So now we can see, without moving down, the names, why that they're slightly different. The date of birth matches, the address doesn't match with all of them, the employers don't match with all of them. And then we also see those consumer statements. So this can be important to see if there is any type of fraud alert or anything on there. It can suppress some of the information. Then we have the summary again, the total accounts opened, and you see it all the way across the board. Total accounts, and then total open, total closed, number of delinquent or late accounts, number of derogatory, total balances, the total payments, public records, and inquiries in the last 2 years. This right here, the account history, is a view at a glance of the payment history. Green is good to go. And then we have the different corresponding colors for the type of late payment that is received for that particular creditor, all the way up to a charge-off. The gray is unknown, with the exception of Equifax. Equifax, all on-time payments will appear in gray and not green for current. All of the late payments will have the corresponding colors attached to them. And here's an example of a creditor. This one you can see, it's all gray all across here, but then there are the late payments listed. So that's really what that you want to look at on there. And then you have the 7-year history, and it tells you how many of each type of late payment. So it's 30 days, and there's 2 on each one. And that's it. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me.
All right. So thank you, Rochelle, for the training. Guys, this month we will go over by the time that you done with all the training, credit training, you be an expert, okay? And you can help your client or help yourself to improve your credits and also make money as well. So those of you log on late, don't worry, I have it record, but try to make it early so you can learn exactly what to do and how to do it. But right now, if you would like to be a credit fix or repair consultant, send me the name of how you want to be called. So that way I will ask the company will create a landing page or a link for you. Like let's say you calling yourself like David, he called credit doctors. So on the link, it's gonna go, send it over to or set it up for the client. It will keep track of get pay on those um names, okay? So we can recognize the name to pay you guys. And basically um there is a setup that we call it's a one-time setup. Processing fee is $249.99. And if you are a manager, then you get paid 80% of it, which is the $200 bonus. Just like that. When you set up account, the client will pay $249.99, and boom, you see right away in your bank there's $200 bonus uh, if you are a managers of elite manager. um so and then monthly fees, you get paid on the monthly residual as well with your client, on your clients. As long as they stay on the plan, most people, they will keep it for life, because as you can see, the Rochelle go over just an overview today, just an overview of how to build your smart credit and stuff. So we're gonna come down next week, Wednesday, we're gonna finish up all the training, and you'll be an expert on the personal credit repair consultant, okay? But on this coming Wednesday, Saturday, um, we will have an expert on um, company credits to build the business credit, what we call it, okay? And you can refer your client and get paid at the same time, okay? So many we deal with business owners uh, a lot. So many of them. Last week, I turned in two business, credits accounts, two clients on it. So, um, pretty much, we are a financial consultant, so you have to learn. You don't have to really have to be an expert or anything, but you know what's going on, and you can help or guide your clients. Okay. So for that, anyone have any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself. Um, Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for your questions, let me see. I'm gonna stop the recording. Okay.